Why you should never underestimate the quiet kid in your group project. Why you should never underestimate the quiet kid in your group project, because sometimes the quiet one is the only one paying attention. In my case, that kid was me. It was junior year. We had to design a full campaign for a real-world nonprofit in our advanced media class. Our final grade wasn't just based on the presentation, it was being judged by the nonprofit's board. They were going to pick one student group to actually run the campaign. Day one, we were randomly grouped. I got paired with Logan, Tiff, and Kayla, three friends who basically ran the school's social scene. Varsity sports, class officers, constant Instagram stories. The teacher hadn't even finished explaining the assignment before Tiff leaned over and said, "You're like good at tech stuff, right? You can do the back end." Back end? It was a full branding proposal. Strategy, analytics, pitch, deck, everything. But fine. I figured I'd rather do real work than trust Logan, who spent class whispering about his protein macros. They made a big show of being creative leads. Their first brainstorm session involved ordering boba and voting on color palettes using emoji polls. Meanwhile, I was buried in spreadsheets, studying the nonprofit's previous campaigns, creating mock social ads, and analyzing their audience engagement data. Weeks passed. They kept saying, "Well, Joam, we'll jump in once you get the structure down." But they never did. They posted TikToks of their work meetings where I was literally in the background editing copy while they were lip-syncing Doja Cat. 2 nights before the submission deadline, I emailed the final PDF. 87 slides of structured research, ad mockups, influencer strategy, budget breakdowns. The subject line was, "Please read this before Monday." Kayla replied, "Looks amazing. You're a genius." Logan said, "We'll make it pop during the pitch." Tiff? She heart reacted. No words, just a heart. The morning of the pitch, I showed up early to set up. Tiff walked in holding a Starbucks and said, "OMG, we're so ready to wing this. It's gonna be iconic." They were confident, loud, smiling, but when the board members arrived, 5 real nonprofit executives wearing suits and serious expressions, that confidence started to crack. Tiff kicked off the pitch, reading from the first slide. She pronounced analytics as anal techs. Logan tried to explain our target demographic and named the wrong city. Kayla pulled up a slide that showed projected ROI and said, "So basically, we expect like good vibes and growth." I wish I were kidding. Then one board member asked, "What were your criteria for selecting these platforms?" Tiff blinked. I think we just felt like they had engagement-y energy." That's when the teacher looked at me. "Alex, would you like to add anything?" I took a deep breath, stood up and said, "Actually, I'd like to present the real campaign." I opened my laptop and pulled up a different slide deck. Same campaign name, totally different presentation, because 2 days ago, I'd realized something. They were going to screw this up no matter what I gave them. So I built my own version. Tighter, clearer, and this time, I built it for me to deliver. I walked the board through the real data, why certain platforms worked, why our tone needed to shift for younger donors, how we could use micro-influencers with cause-driven audiences instead of wasting budget on big names. They nodded, asked questions, I answered. I knew this stuff. I'd lived in it for 2 months. At the end, one of the board members said, "That was one of the most impressive student presentations I've seen in 10 years. And then turning to the teacher added, "I'd love to speak with Alex separately about internship opportunities." Tiff just stared at me, mouth slightly open. Logan tried to laugh it off like it was a team win. "We all contributed," he said weakly. The teacher didn't say anything. She just handed us our grades the next week. I got an A+. They each got C's, with a note that said, "Did not demonstrate understanding of core material." And the nonprofit, they chose my version of the campaign, ran it over the summer. It worked. Donations spiked. They even kept part of the slogan I came up with. Word got around school fast. The kid everyone thought was just quiet and good at tech was suddenly the one everyone wanted in their group. But I wasn't rushing to join anyone, because here's the thing. Being quiet doesn't mean being weak. It means I'm watching, listening, and when you underestimate me, that's when I'm most dangerous. So yeah, next time you're in a group project and think the quiet kid's just tagging along, think again.